Hello and welcome to my review on the 8-foot tall LUXE Bunny inflatable from Gemmy. This was introduced in 2022 at BJ's Wholesale Club, then re-released in 2023 when it was also picked up by Yard Inflatables. Currently priced at $94.95, they're beating BJ's original retail of $119.99, though that was heavily discounted as time went on, so kind of but not really. I suppose an inadvertent downside of that is it comes in the plain white box instead of Gemmy's fancy luxe style. However, most reviews on YouTube of this showcase that box, so I guess we get to be a bit different. Features include 67 lights, plush fabrics with metallic accents, as well as much more. These boxes don't give you too much to look at, but we'll still take a routine peek at the back, which is funny enough probably the front, since it's where they slap their sticker. I regret not purchasing this bunny when it first released, so I could have gotten that bougie box art, but the exact same inflatable lies inside this box as what would of the other, so let's slice it open and head outside. Equipped with the YF-125, it's always great to get a strong fan on a smaller design, especially one that isn't animated, and thanks to it being Luxe, that's something we can depend on. I have staked this down simply because it's a somewhat narrow 8 feet tall, but note it's naturally pretty stable. Good thing to keep in mind if displayed in a more wind-protected setting, such as a porch or up against the house. There are no ground tether attachments, though by not being super big, it doesn't need them. However, the attachments we do have are located at the bottom of the vest, where we have a break in that fuzzy material. I'd say it's ready to go, so let's plug them in and continue with our review. Taking 10 seconds to inflate, that could possibly make it the fastest inflating Easter-based fan from Gemmy. I know for certain it is among their modern designs. Not all that important, but still I think worth mentioning. There's no doubt this design is very unique and potentially their best Easter inflatable of late, though it comes with one major issue that goes hand in hand with its coolest component. I've talked about this in my other reviews, but this material, while it has the ability to make an inflatable look almost lifelike, it can also cause loads of frustration, with dirt and leaves sticking to it like a sponge. The fuzzy fabric is great for what it is. I've just found on a daily it requires a brushing before use. I've personally been displaying fuzzy designs since 2017, so I've gotten pretty accustomed to it, but I can understand it may not be for everybody. This year I was feeling spontaneous and decided to break this out ahead of review to do a little Easter setup. Wasn't planning on doing anything for Easter, but I love this design too much not to, and by having it in front of the garage, I knew he wouldn't get dirty. I have to admit I have a new favorite in my Easter collection. This LUXE Bunny truly captures it all. It's unmatched in its resemblance to Peter Cottontail, and not just unmatched among Gemmy's designs, but other companies as well. It's quite difficult to find a non-airblown yet blow-up bunny that doesn't have a slightly off-putting demeanor or expression. It's not to say Gemmy is free from doing it. I've just said in the past they know where that fine line is, and here I think they've near perfected it. Starting with the sewn-in whiskers, the best way I can describe them is similar to a uniform patch in terms of their texture. This applies to all other facial features except for one, as the nose is just your typical polyester. The vest is a shimmering shade of purple, which is a pattern we've seen in a few of my recent reviews. It's nice being a tad different from the more matte metallic on the bow tie and the egg, and as you know, it's hard to go wrong with purple and gold. Now my favorite part of this bunny is 100% the ears. They've chosen the exact shade of pink that when combined with the fuzzy material, looks like a legit rabbit. I recently visited my sister during spring break, and after hanging out with her pet bunny, way too much of the stay, I can tell you how well they've done to capture it. The last bit I want to get into is how the fur texture does not reach all the way around and instead stops halfway. This is something signature for Gemmy to do. They do it all the time when it comes to these fuzzy material inflatables. I just wish it was more consistent with the arm, as the arm goes all the way back, but as you can see when I zoom in, you do have that part where the regular polyester is still showing. Finally, showing off the back, you've got one zipper down by the fan, which will come into frame in just a second. And I didn't talk about this at the beginning, but it doesn't inflate as tightly as its super quick inflation time may have indicated it would. Don't get me wrong, it still feels full in most areas. It's just common for a dominantly fuzzy inflatable, because of the more porous fabric, to not hold the air in as well as normal. And that's going to do it for my review on the 2022 through 2024 and possibly beyond 8-foot LUXE Bunny inflatable. I say possibly because at the moment Yard Inflatables is out of stock, and I don't believe this can be found anywhere else unless you go for the moderately higher prices on eBay. To me, this is a $100 inflatable easy, and I think if you share the same opinion, you'll be fine with grabbing one on there. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this Easter season, had a wonderful holiday this past weekend, and until next time, I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.